but Terminator 2 says, I want to get to something that he said. He said, Mike D and Coop, I don't want to hear y'all shitting on Common again. Nigga said Common is 1,000 times better than Talib. You know, I think that, and I do want to talk about
where we're going because he said other stuff about Common too, and I think the stuff we've been
he
saying about
did.
Common
I
is
think
more.
that 1,000 times better than Talib was more about Talib than him giving Common
First
props.
of all,
You know what? A lot of those
are we
things.
going there right now? Can we touch that point right now? Let's go ahead and do the Common thing.
Let's go
Or
ahead
are
and
you
do the
not ready?
Common thing. Okay, okay. I guess we could do the Common, Big Sean, John Legend, and who else falls on it? And Talib thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I think Common, he gets a certain level of respect from Kanye because he already had a career going before Kanye, and he was the guy in Chicago. You know, No ID is Kanye's mentor. So there's a level of respect already for Common in his career. Now, granted, where Common is now, that's because of Kanye West. And I don't care what anybody says. That's because of Kanye West. The Common that we know now, this acting in films and all that stuff, from B on, that's because of Kanye West. But I still think there's a level of respect there in the fact that he was already proven and, you know, a hip hop legend before he even started working with Ye. Now, as far as Big Sean and John Legend, Kanye West made those guys. Straight up. No way around that. He made those guys.
So first of all, I mean,
And
more than
Talib,
probably more than any other MC, probably Common influenced Kanye because he, for most people, and even now, even with Ye being here, Chicago's best MC. Is that fair assertion?
I think Kanye West is Chicago's best MC, but okay.
Some
Nah,
people still say Common,
yeah.
but what I'm saying is that he's so highly regarded that even at this point, with Ye being who he is, and even what he's contributed to Common's catalog, which is some of his best stuff, and definitely his best album, in my opinion, Common is still highly regarded on that type of MC level locally and nationally.
And
But
Common,
not,
you know, and I will not to interrupt you,
but
but I
not,
will give Common this credit because I know I didn't say this in what what I just spit out, but Common created a lane for Kanye West in that city. Because if you think about Twisters, the Do or Dies, the Crucial Conflicts, and even the Brat that were coming out of Chicago, there wasn't really a backpack lane in Chicago like that. So I think the fact that Common even created that lane for Kanye to be able to walk through and represent Chicago in that way, he respects. Period. And you have to.
right. And so Common's not 1,000 times better than Kweli. But Mike, I have to once again. This is what I was saying. It's like he was saying stuff, and it's like, well, yeah, that's kind of how I feel too. It's like when he was saying he was 1,000 times better. It's like here's what he was saying, and to go to what Terminator saying. Let me clarify how I feel about Common as MC. I feel like Common is an all-time great MC, but I would put him at the bottom tier of the A-list MCs.
I
Talib
think
Kweli Talib Kweli is somewhere on the B list, and so he's not 1,000 times better, but he is in a different stratosphere as an MC in my estimation as well. So
what
yeah,
what
he's kind of
surprised
hitting the
me
mark. He just kind of overstated it.
what surprised me about the Talib, and I think he was being honest, because granted, I think this whole interview, for the most part, Kanye West was being honest, whether you agree with him or not. It's his opinions. But what surprised me was him dragging Talib in the way he did, because he was talking about how tight him and Mos Def were, or just speaking about how conversations him and Mos Def have had. Same thing with Dave, and you kind of loop all those things together. And obviously, you know, me and you could be friends and have a mutual friend that I don't fuck with or whatever. That happens. But when he said that he never liked the way that Talib rapped, that was interesting to me.
Mike,
That was
and,
interesting. I believe that I believe he was telling the truth. Do you believe he was telling the truth or just saying some shit because he don't like Talib now?
okay, did you see what Talib posted on Twitter?
I missed that. What'd he say?
Okay, so Talib went and quoted some of the things that Kanye had said about Talib, like in the positive light. Like he put a quote about how, I used to go to Mos Def and Talib crib. They was the only ones that would let me in. Talib is this. And then he had like a little videos of everybody saying like how they would want to be Talib as an MC. And so there was a couple things about that. First of all, that obviously struck a nerve with Talib.
But he never said that you know, he never pulled out anything saying that he thought Talib was a dope MC like that, though. You can still not like the way somebody raps and still be grateful. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna try to pull it up, Mike. That's why I was telling you.
No, that's what I'm looking up right now. You go ahead. Yeah,
it was in our group chat. The group I just added it to, the owner of the chat, Kendra, and he had reposted it. That's why I just seen it. I just seen it before we went online, and I was like,
it's got to be on Instagram. I forgot. Talib is banned from Twitter.
Yeah, I mean, okay, must be Instagram.
Yeah. I forgot. Gonna ban Talib from Twitter.
No, I'm about to pull it up.
Yeah. Go ahead and pull it up.
But go ahead, keep going while I find it and pull it up because it's in here.
And you know, LP says I never liked Talib's flow either, and that's interesting because when he said that, I wasn't like, "Yo, Kanye, you tripping." Like if he would have said that about Mos Def, I'd have been like, "You tripping." I could understand rhythmically, especially how he was breaking down what was going on with Scarface's flow and how Jay does things, how Cube does things. I could rhythmically understand why he probably was always frustrated with Talib's flow. Because I've never been a huge fan of Talib's flow either. It's a little bit off kilter. We were talking about voices last episode. Talib doesn't have a great rap voice.
Here it goes. Kweli and Mos Def took me in when nobody else would. They were like, "We like you," Kanye West. Kweli taught me the most about being an artist, more than anybody, Kanye West. There was something about this MAGA hat when I put it on that made me feel like Superman, Kanye West. By the way, I also wear fedoras too. And yeah,
what does that mean? Why did he even pull that? See, that's probably why he went in on Talib too. Like, what does the MAGA hat have to do with anything?
So let's unpack a couple things.
Okay,
like,
go ahead.
Can't win this fight on any level, so the response is going to come off as petty. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it comes off like he got stung by it. And that's why I said, well, no, when he said it was 1,000 times better, if there was anything, this was probably Mike, if this wasn't the best interview that I've seen a hip hop artist ever have, it's up there. It's easy top 5. I was trying to think of some of Tupac's and Ice Cube's earlier interviews or comparable.
It reminds you of a Tupac interview, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like honesty and the candidness, if there was any exaggeration, it was this point. But Talib has to think more of himself to know that 1,000 times better was an exaggeration, even though I don't think him and Common are in the same weight class. And I think that's where it kind of struck a nerve.
Right.
It's because maybe Talib kind of knows that too.
Well, see, the thing is, Talib has been hearing from, because Talib is out there, and that's why he's banned on Twitter. He goes back and forth with people on Twitter, goes back and forth with people on social media in general. And many of the people that he's gone back and forth with have used the fact that, we only listen to Black Star for Mos Def anyway. So he's been hearing things in that range anyway from people that he's gone back and forth with. So obviously, like you said, that strikes a nerve. And, he's put in way more work than Mos Def, so...
Mike, of that camp and catalog of MCs that you would say make that genre of hip hop, a Black Thought, a Common, a Mos Def, Outkast, like those guys, like he is the least talented MC of those top notch guys. Correct me if I'm wrong, and it's always been that way.
Why though? Because lyrically, this is one thing we can't say about Talib. Lyrically, he's there, and when I just said that, I thought about Chain Heavy, the song that got left off of, one of the great songs that got left off of My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy.
Yeah.
I mean, Talib's flow was all over the place. The lyrics were there, but Kanye's verse was, what color was the man who bared the cross? No matter how many lashes, you couldn't beat it off. I mean, he was just the better rapper on there, so I think a lot of that is voice and flow.
I was about to say, Mike, he doesn't have the best voice and he doesn't have the best flow. Those things matter, especially when you're next to guys like, I don't know, Black Thought, Mos Def.
So, all right, what's the biggest difference? What is the biggest difference between Common and Talib as an MC, right? What's in your opinion?
Oh, Mike, I mean, the biggest difference, the ability to write a full dope-ass song, because Common has herds of them and Talib has a lot of them.
Okay. I was gonna go there.
What we're gonna judge it by is the music. Go listen to Common songs. Go listen to Talib songs. That's the gap. Like Talib doesn't have anything. Like his best album would probably be Common's fourth best album.
I think that High Tech's made some of Talib's best songs. I think The Blast is there, obviously. But I think it's fair to say that Kanye may have arguably made his best song and biggest hit. That's why it's very hard for him to even go back and forth with Kanye on this because, like, dude, I gave you Just to Get By. Get By is huge. Like, you can't really even say anything.
No, I mean, Get By and The Blast are his biggest like records, aren't they, Mike?
They are.
So, yeah. So I mean, I don't know. I mean,
And shit,
I think
on the
Blast,
street level, Gorilla Monsoon, Kanye did that too.
I mean, I think The Blast is a better record, but Get By is his biggest record, and that is produced by Kanye.
I think Get By put him somewhere else, and technically, The Blast is a Reflection Eternal record. You know what I'm saying? Like, but if we want to talk about actual solo Talib stuff, it's undoubtedly, Get By. And on the street level, it's Gorilla Monsoon. Kanye did that too.
So that's what I'm saying. So it's like, now go pull up Common's catalog right quick, and you'll understand exactly what Ye's talking about. It's just he's not 1,000 times better, but they in a different class, man.
I think Kanye's listening to this as a producer, honestly. Obviously, him and, he doesn't really rock with what Talib is saying politically, and we're going to get there too. But
any level you want to listen to it on?
What's up?
He's got them. Whether it's the albums, voice,
flow,
consistency. Consistency. Yeah, he's got them on every level. And so Ye was kind of saying that he just kind of pushed it a little further because of the issues of things that Talib has said about Ye since he wore the MAGA hat.